Manito, oche amane pe matsoen, hey ya ho, kinanas kumtina nochi oh
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Hailey Rose Podcast, episode 5. You see a guest to the right of me, but we're gonna get to her after. So I actually missed my episode last Thursday. I apologize for that. I'm so sorry. But good evening to all of you guys watching. Comment where you're from, comment your reserve, comment which treaty you're from, everything. I definitely want to hear about it. But I would like to introduce you guys to my sister, Taylor Jade Stone.
Hi guys, I'm so happy. Hailey,
do you want to talk a little bit louder?
Louder? Okay. I'm so grateful for Hailey asking me to come on her podcast today. I think we have a lot of great stories to share with everybody. So
come closer.
I don't know. I hope you guys laugh with us and take in some good information from us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're going to be talking a little bit about our childhood. We're going to tell some awesome, funny stories. Hey, we're in a laughing mood. And sometimes when you're anxious or when you're nervous, you tend to laugh a bit more. So, you know, our palms are sweaty. Our bums are a little sweaty. Just kidding. But yeah, and then we're going to also cover a topic about overcoming. Wait, I wrote it down. Overcoming the negative influences as a teenager, which is really important. Thank you guys for popping on already. We see Krista here. Hey, beautiful, just popping in. I have a walk meeting tonight, but I know you will rock it because you are cool like that. Thank you so much, Krista. Good evening. You got Hannah here, your buddy. So Taylor, do you want to go off and, say how old you are? And
yeah, for sure. Okay, so I am 22 years old. I recently just had my birthday on the 2nd. I am a mother of 2 kids. I have one that is 2 years old and one that just turned 1 just last month. So yeah.
Well, she's got 2 mini-me's.
Yeah, I'm a high school graduate. I recently just finished a course in esthetician, so I can do nails, beauty, lots of beauty stuff. So if anybody needs some beauty stuff, you know where to come.
When you need something waxed, anything, anywhere, get it waxed. Anywhere, get it waxed from her. But so she's probably like the only one that I trust. She's been my day one since I've been born. I think she watched me been born. She's my rock. I love her so much. I actually live with her now. So, or just for right now, but she's everything to me and I love her so much. She's never failed to doubt me and she's always motivated me. She's always encouraged me. She's literally my heart, my rock, and I love her so much. So I wanted to talk a little bit about where we grew up and a little bit about that story because we came from somewhere and we ended up here. So
we came from here, but we want to talk about where we kind of did our like younger childhood. So
yeah, like when I was born. Yeah. So we moved. Well, you moved.
Just 2 deadly aunties.
From North Alford, and we moved to Prince Albert. And Taylor, how old were you when you moved to Prince Albert? Because I was like mega young. I was like 6 months, a year.
Yeah, I would say, I think I would have been like 4 or 5. Those were the years that I would have remembered. I'm not even sure though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I remember she was going into elementary school and she like, we had
Yeah,
babysitters.
right.
I had a babysitter and she had a babysitter, but my babysitter was like the best. Like she spoiled me as if I was like her daughter. Like she had like a custom car seat, like one of those car seats where like it was like an old one. It was like
Wait,
it went like down, yeah, and then and
it didn't have none of the like.
it had none of the straps. I don't know how safe I was. Wait.
Not
It didn't have straps.
No,
No,
it
I
didn't
think it was
have-
like the seatbelt.
Yeah, you do the seatbelt.
Those are the prime days. Anyways. And Taylor
Well,
had
even before that, we didn't use our seatbelt. We just had the like.
yeah, us res kids just hopped in the vehicle
Or
and
that,
went. Just kidding. No.
Either
Nothing.
you got a seat or the trunk.
Nothing like that. But no, Taylor had a babysitter also with my brother. Like you guys had the same babysitter, you in Kansas.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were with another lady, and that was just a way different experience. I know we used to have like the occasional days where we had to go to her babysitter, and like it was so much better, but my babysitter was another story. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she has some stories about her babysitter, but we're not going to cover that. We're not going to talk about that. So Taylor actually, okay, I remember, and this was like so cute, but when I was young, I used to like watch her and my brother leave to school every day. And when they would go to school, they would sing a song. Okay, can you sing that song?
Oh my god.
Can you sing that song?
Okay, so we went to a school named St. John Community School. It was a community school, and I can't.
Okay,
I'm
I'll sing
already
it.
Nervous.
I'll sing it because
Oh
I'm
my
a good
God.
singer. St. John's Community School. That's where I go to school.
See,
And
I still
and
like
she would
it.
and she would always sing that song. Call her out. Eh? Just kidding. No, we're not gonna do too much of that today. But yeah, she went to school every day, and I would just play at home with like my little Bratz dolls. But we had
just wishy.
just had to get that in there. But we had a store down the block, and it was our favorite store.
Max.
Max?
We had
And
the
then
Max
what
down
would we get from Max though?
Beef jerky from the counter. Definitely always a beef jerky.
Yeah.
And some dill pickle chips were a big
I
thing
think
for us,
Pringles.
too. Pringles too, yeah.
Just really sticking our greasy hands in those Pringle sticks.
Not even.
Chris is trying to get us to sing. Maybe at the end, if you guys continue watching, we'll sing. Maybe
if I come out of my.
But yeah, and then from PA we moved back to North Belford because mom was doing her
School.
dentistry.
Yeah.
She was becoming a dental therapist, so we kind of chilled out there, and then we moved back to North Battleford, and unfortunately we haven't left yet. So we're gonna
We're gonna.
and then when we go, where will we go next? What is the next move? But yeah, so we've been here, we've been here, and honestly I think like North Battleford made me. North Battleford made us.
It got me.
It got us good. It got both of us good. Okay, I gotta read this real quick.
Yeah.
Are past episodes on all platforms? Yes, they are. So sometimes the episodes don't actually go on YouTube, but if you like backtrack, definitely. If you go on the 7 Stars Media Facebook page and scroll down, you'll see all the episodes. So be sure to tune into those because those were awesome. But so we want to tell a little bit about stories of when we were young, even like a couple like years ago, even like 6 months ago, because like we have some funny stories, and like I kind of want to share some auntie laughs because lately I've felt a little bit off, and I feel like a lot of people have been feeling that same way, like, you know, you're picking up negative energies, or you're not feeling like those same vibrations. Like you can kind of feel it, and this weather is like changing.
Yeah, and it's definitely taking a toll on like
my like
emotion.
today was raining, and it was like ugly.
Yeah, right.
Like not even nice enough to jump in the puddle. Like
you gotta go outside and enjoy it.
But yeah, so I don't know, like my vibes were down, and I could tell like my sister, you know, she wasn't dancing when I wanted to dance. She wasn't singing when I wanted to sing. So just kidding. But yeah, so
I'll get there.
I got a good one. So 2 years ago, actually this might have been 3 years ago, we were at Table Mountain, and it's like a ski hill. And Taylor was learning how to snowboard. And I had already been snowboarding, I think, for a year, but Taylor was learning how to snowboard, and we were going down one of the hills. Do you wanna say what happened?
Well, I can't go right into detail because in my position in this story, right, like, it wasn't a real big event in my life, right? Like, I didn't really remember that much. And Hailey's like, like, we gotta get some stories going. How about that one time we were talking? And she goes, well, what about that one time when I broke my arm and you just kind of shrugged it off and maybe, like, still had to finish what we were doing? And I said, no,
we're just acting like we didn't know what we were gonna talk about. This is a funny one.
This one was a good one.
This one,
so you have to say it because I don't know all the details, but I do remember. I do recall my comment.
Okay, so I was trying to act like real deadly. Like, I was trying to act real deadly in front of Taylor.
Because I couldn't do it.
And I think I was carving, and I think I actually was like trying to tell you, like, carve, because she would like put her board this way and then she'd go this way and then like the other way, and like I wanted to teach her how to. She couldn't carve, so we ended up going down the hill, and it was like a decent hill, and I was like going super fast, and I think you like cut me off or something, and I like fell, like I tumbled. I was like going left, going right. My goggles were everywhere. My helmet was off my head. Wait, was I wearing a helmet? I don't know. Anyways, let's not talk about safety first, guys. Safety first. But yeah, and I was going down that hill, and I fell and like took a big tumble, and I was like, holy smokes. And like I was like trying to act like I was fine. Like I was trying to act. And then I was like still on the ground. I was like, oh, and I winded myself. Like, oh, and you know that feeling when you wind yourself and like you're like trying to like breathe, and you're like,
take your breath.
Yeah, you're just, and you're like, and you panic, right? You panic because you can't breathe, and like you're trying to take a breath, but you darn can't. And I'm like laying on the ground, and I think Taylor was feeling a little embarrassed because I was like on the ground in the middle of the hill.
I was definitely like, come on, let's go, because like everybody was like passing us.
Everybody was just zoom right by us, and for legal reasons, you were wearing help. Yeah, I was, and so Taylor was like getting mad at me, and like, you guys know, like when your older sister or older brother yells at you, like that gets scary. Like that gets scary, and it gets so scary. Like it makes like you feel no. Like you feel a lump in your throat, almost like you gotta swallow it, or like. And she's like, "Get up! Like you're fine! Like you're holding up the traffic, bro." And
you're good. Come on.
Yeah, and I remember her saying, "Come on, get up, come on, let's go." And I was like holding my wrist. I was holding my wrist, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, and I was shaking, and I didn't want to take off my glove. And so we got to the bottom of my hill, and I think Uncle Jay was there, Uncle Jason, and he was like, "I think she actually like broke something. I think she actually," and then Taylor was like, "No, she's fine. No, she's fine. She's good." Taylor's like, "I want to go down the hill again. Like, she's good, man." So we got to the bottom of my hill, and I take off my glove, and my wrists still look crooked. Like, they still look in, but like, it was like, Okay, anyways, it was like real gimped, hey? Okay, now. Okay, you guys can still see that, but anyways, so it was like real gimped. And like I was trying to move it like this, and yeah, it was broken. And I honestly think that we just went to like a little like medical clinic, like not medical clinic, like the emergency that they had, their little room there, and they're like, "You got to go to the hospital. Like, you got to go to the hospital now." So found out it was broken. Taylor was like, "Sheesh," like.
Nah, I kind of feel a little bit bad for like making it hard on you sometimes, but
but also though, I'm pretty sure I almost broke your arm.
Where?
when I was on my bike.
Oh, dude. I got a scar for you guys. But I won't show it because, like,
the wrist had me choking on my popcorn. Yeah, that's both of them. Like, I've broken my wrist left and right from snowboarding. So, you ever want to knock me out? Well, go for the wrists.
You ever want to knock me out for good? Go for my wrist.
Because I'll be crying like this. That rhymed, bro. That rhymed. Anyways, okay. Yeah, we'll start laughing with our chest. Taylor laughs with her chest, and I laughed with my face. So, but yeah, when I was like, how old was I? Like 6 years old.
My scar though. Come on. Man.
Well, show them then. Show them your wrinkly. Show them your wrinkly elbow. Okay, get real in there then, because they want to see it.
I'm getting real insecure. Oh yeah.
We're just.
Well, anyways, right there. No.
Give it up.
I don't want to show my black elbow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyways, I got this scar here, and it's actually from my bone. My bone.
No.
Yeah, you scraped my bone, man. So, anyways, good story. Frick, we used to play outside all the time.
Wait, don't say that.
What? Oh, don't say that then. Okay.
Anyways, I'm just playing.
Anyways, so we always played outside in our childhood house here in North Battleford.
Oh yeah, right till our feet were black.
Yeah. No,
I'm just kidding.
Anyways, yeah, so we'd play outside all day, every day, and we used to do this thing with our bikes. Hey, we had like little bells and stuff on our bikes, little fancy things for our stuff, and we used to pretend we were driving cars, right? Like we'd use signals, and we'd call this one bush down the street our gas station, and then at the other block there was an ATM machine, and
we used to play real life like
cars, right?
With a bike.
Yeah. And so
we were right in front of the house, and then I was on my little pink bike. I had a little pink bike, had training wheels and everything.
Little pink tassels on the side.
Yeah, like those little.
Yeah, her little princess cute bike there.
Yeah.
What happened then? What'd you do to me?
This is your story to tell, because this is your injury.
So I challenged her. Hey, I said, Hailey, come on, let's go up the block over there, and we'll race down really fast. I bet you I could beat you on your bike. Even if you're on your bike, I'm gonna beat you on your bike. And she said, all the time, I'm gonna win all the time. She's a winner, right? She's always on a win. So anyways, we get to the top, and I'm just like, getting ready. And she looked at me. She's ready. And she just go. And she started going real fast. And then I was like, I'm going to let her go, right? That's my little sister. I'm going to watch her. So she was running. Or no, I was running, and she was pedaling real fast. I could see her little legs. And then I was like, okay, I got to beat her at least. So we were getting closer to the end, and I was just catching up to her, and it just by just a smidge, she was just about gonna beat me. So I ended up grabbing her arm. I went to go grab her arm, and it must have turned her over to my side where I was running, because we were both on the sidewalk. Eventually it just turned me, and I tripped, fell. Sorry, my language. She just ran me right over. She's just biking, right? And then all of a sudden, boop, and she just keeps on freaking going, right? Like, I was just laying there, ow. And then I'm looking over, like, is she stopping? Like, are you gonna stop? Like, hit the brakes. Like,
it was just like a little, it just felt like a little curve, like,
and she just going all of a sudden, and it keeps going. I was like, oh my god, just crying. That was a good one.
Yeah, but I felt bad after because
Super funny though. It was at the end. It was super funny because we had it on recording, so it was funny in the end, but super painful.
Yeah, so we just let you guys know of some injuries, but I'm looking at the time here and I kind of want to get into it, you know, like,
Okay, yeah.
So I wanted to talk a little, I wanted to ask you, because we're talking about overcoming negative influences as a teenager, and that's really important, right? Like, we've all been through some things when we're a teenager. It's just a matter of how you take it, how you want to go on with it, or how you process, you know, these things that are coming your way, like alcohol, drugs, like things like that, and
just everything. There's so much.
And so I wanted to ask you, like, at what age did you experience peer pressure?
I would have to say a lot. I mean, I was pretty young, but I would say when I really experienced it lots, like I was pretty good about it before I got my drivers, and then it almost seemed as if when I had gotten my drivers is when I actually started to feel that, you know, people, you know, needed me. They wanted me to be there, and I could be there because I had a vehicle of my own. And I would say 16 years old.
Yeah. And that's where it started
for me. Well,
like,
yeah,
where did the negative influences like start?
So I should first begin saying I did go through that, you know, doing what I wanted to do when I was a teenager. I spent a lot of time away from home. I was doing, you know, I was sipping, I was, you know, smoking, and I was doing all that, and I had really gotten myself down into there when I was in high school, and yeah, that's where we're gonna I'm gonna talk about where I had my experiences. So for that question, say that question again.
Where did it all start?
Where did it all start?
And from what? Like, what did it start from?
I'm
just putting her on the spot, okay, but I remember Alyssa saying, "Put her on the spot."
Yeah. Well, I mean, why not? Hey,
this is your truth, though. Like, this is your truth. Whatever
it is. It's
whatever you feel comfortable about talking. Like, you know, because it's hard, but people need to hear this stuff.
Okay. Well, where should I start?
Don't get too into it, but you know, enough.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just sort of. I went through a long process in my family with a divorce, and it was a big drastic change in our lives, and I felt it a lot along with my brother because we were a little bit older than my sister. We kind of, you know, protected her away from the bigger picture, I guess. So I would say that one was a big like a big thing where like you know, I was doing things to hide what I felt, or like doing things to preoccupy myself because there was things going on you know, other than at home, I guess. So
no, we got vaccinated today, guys. We got our arms are sore.
Yeah. So that's probably my big what happened in my life where I could
So can you elaborate on the things that you were doing though? Like what sort of things were you doing? Like, you don't have to say exactly, but like, well, I could go on about me, like the things I did.
Well, but you know what? I'll be honest. I was drinking. I was smoking pot. You know, I dipped into a little bit of right? And because that went along with drinking, and I was persuaded by a lot of older people. I spent a lot of time around a lot of older people. Like, I didn't really spend time with people my age, and that probably was a big thing also. I think that I should have stayed in the era where I should have been, like, I shouldn't have tried to grow too fast, like I was thinking I had my mindset was at somebody that was 19 years old when I was 16. A 16-year-old and a 19-year-old, they shouldn't be doing the same thing.
And I think this is like really important too, because like with COVID right now and all the restrictions, like all these kids are at home, or all these kids are like, well, I want to go out with my friends. And like, what are these things that these kids are doing nowadays? Like when they're leaving and when they're going home, like out, like people aren't just going to the park and going to play. Like people are hopping in vehicles with like 18-year-olds, people like little kids, like 15-year-olds hanging out with 20-year-olds now. And it's like normal. And you think like, even for me, like when I was going through that, like when I was 12 years old, I was hanging out with people that were your age. And that's why I was so easily influenced. And so I like that we're having this discussion, because, like you get to a point where you want to stop, right? And I want to ask you, like, when did you know, like, you had to stop doing those things? Like
when was the party over? Okay, so, the party lasted quite a while. It does, fun is fun, and it's fun. But, there comes a point where, like, fun's over. Reality is, like, in the real world, you got to buckle down. Like, education is such a big thing in the world nowadays. Like, without education, sometimes you can't even do like school work. It's like eventually they're gonna say grade 12, you're gonna have to have your grade 12 in order to like work places like McDonald's or Walmart. Like, so I think it's a really good idea to say, like,
so you would say you stopped because you knew that you had to graduate and you had to go back to school, because you didn't, like, do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because you didn't go to school for a bit, and you were...
I didn't. When I was 16, I kicked the bucket, man. I was like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I do not want to live on a schedule. I didn't want to go to school. I started skipping first. That was the first thing. I started skipping, and then I was like, oh, well, what's another skip? And then it just went on from that. But where I actually, just to go back to your question there, where I actually noticed where, I should have made my changes in a lot sooner than I actually had would have been when I was 18 years old, and my peers, the people that I grew up with, the people that were in my classrooms, my elementary classes, my best friend from elementary, I was watching these people all graduate, and I was watching everybody, be a part of these like groups and stuff to do with school, right? Like everyone was graduating, there's grad parties, and that really persuaded me to like, I gotta do that. Like, why am I not capable of that? Like, if they can do it, why can't I? So that was a big eye opener, was watching my peers graduate without me.
Dude, so I would have bawled.
I was so sad.
You would have been like, good for you, and then like, what about me? But no, and that's true. That's true. Like watching your friends do something that you wanted to do together, that you should have been doing together.
It was definitely fun, right? Because you still got to be there. They're still your friends, and you're still going to be happy they're doing good and whatever. But an important role was not like, not being able to be there with them, like I was there, but I wasn't there accomplishing like the things that, everybody should, and everybody is capable of accomplishing that. So that probably would have been the biggest thing. So if you're in high school and, you're pissing around, look around, man. Like, people are still moving, and if you don't move with them, you're gonna stay where you are. And staying where you are it's you'll get over it. Yeah. I'm trying to word it right. So
No.
I don't want to tell people the wrong thing, because it's like that's a really sensitive thing for me.
Well,
like,
and it's also important to talk about, like, because, like, even me, man, like, I did some things that I'm not proud of, and I had to better myself. I had to, get out of situations that I put myself in, situations that I shouldn't have even been in. And it was really hard to get out of those. But I wanna kind of know, like, what did you do to better yourself? Like, what were these things that you were doing besides going to school? Because, if you're doing drugs or if you're drinking every day, it's hard. Like, it's hard to get out of that, right? So what sort of things were you doing so that you were bettering yourself? And I'm just
okay.
I'll be right back, but I'm listening.
So actually, I a lot of it was getting away from that situation, because I'm sorry, where I was not the area that I should have been in if I was trying to, like, get out of it. It was a lot about where I was. That's
where you
what
were?
I say. Yeah, it was about where I was, who I was with, because I remember.
So you made new friends?
I isolated myself, man. I isolated myself. I said, you know what? Why do I need friends right now? All my friends are graduated, right? Like, why do I need more friends that are gonna make me sulk in what I'm stuck in, right? Like, I'm not gonna find new friends where I'm hanging out, right? Because everyone's my friend where I'm hanging out. So I took off and I changed who I hung out with, and my, just the way that I thought, I guess, about myself.
So for all the youth that are watching right now, all the teenagers, even people who are, like, going through this right now, because we can't even, like, really say it's to teenagers, but it did happen to you. Like, you went through it when you were young. So what advice would you give those youth that are struggling right now, or that want to get out of the situation or want to better themselves? What would you say?
Okay. I don't know if I would say, definitely the one thing that's just, there in my head: finish school. Finish your grade 12. I mean, even if you're an adult right now and you're watching and you don't have that grade 12, man, go to school. Get your GED, man. Like, GEDs, you can get into other schooling nowadays. Like, why not, man? Like,
my sister, my biggest supporter. Like, when I'm doing my tests, like, when I got exams coming, when I got anything coming, she's right there. She's like, Hailey, like, do this. Like, we got to get to this. Like, I'll be on my phone scrolling, texting, and I'm like, and then she'll be like, okay, let's go. Like, you come on, let's study. Or she's, like, motivating me. Like, did you do your work? Did you study? Did you do your homework? Like, and I think that's what really helps too. Like, you have to have somebody there who is encouraging you, somebody who's supporting you, somebody who, wants to see you succeed, because that's important. And when you're putting yourself around people that don't want to see you succeed, that don't have dreams, people that don't have goals, or people that don't even know what they want within the next year, I think already it's like, well, then what am I doing? Like, where are you going to stay? And already then, like, I've always had my sister's back. She's always had mine. And, when she was in a dark place, or when I was in a dark place, we were like there, like, I'm going to support you. I'm going to not support whatever it was, but I'm going to, like, help you. And like, we got to get through this together. And, that's, like, really important to have that person who's there.
It is to have at least one person, because even just one person is enough. Like, definitely, that's a big thing. I did have that support, and that is a really big thing. That's a good point.
But like, a lot of people have it, like, their mom is their biggest supporter, or their dad or something. But because, like, what in my situation, like they didn't know what was going on. Like they didn't
Mm-hmm.
know like what I was doing. And so like they couldn't even like look out for me in that way. Like they couldn't
Mm-hmm.
tell me get out of that situation because they didn't even know.
Yeah.
Right? And so when you're in that situation, you're like trying to hide it from your parents. Like it's tough, but like you always have your brothers or sisters. If you don't have brothers, sisters, like cousins, like I think family is the biggest
Yeah,
supporter, the ones who
definitely.
like are gonna love you till you die. And do you have any other advice that you would like to give though? Like,
You know what? Like, I didn't have it all bad, you know, like my teenage years. I
Mhm.
mean, I did have my good go of my good times, but I did buckle down. Like when I was 15, I had a job and here and there, like even though, you know, I was doing those things, I
Mhm.
still worked and I still pushed myself to, you know, get out of bed and do the things that I needed to do. And I think a really big thing is knowing what effort really is, you know, like um, having a job or a hobby or
something like distracting you,
yeah, you
hey? Like,
need something, especially in high school, man. Like you need something to show you because there's so many things that can show you
mhm.
how to be, you know, independent, you know, outgoing, uh, you know, how to speak and just all of that. And I would say honestly, like working helped me a lot. Like being able to hold a job and being in that environment really helped me get out of that because that's not where I wanted to stay at all. I mean, it was nice, but I did not want to work at Tim Hortons my whole life. You know, like
you know what?
like
And
if I don't pick up my shoes, right? Like I'm gonna stay here. Like is this what I want? Like do I want to serve coffee and donuts all of my life? No. Like so that's where I really
Mhm.
picked up my life.
But it starts somewhere. It really does. And like,
Mhm.
even if you're taking that little step, right? You're taking that little step just to better yourself, whether it's like, okay, I'm going to stop talking to this one friend. And then it turns into the whole group, or I'm going to get a job, or I'm going to finish this class, like little tiny
Yeah.
steps. Like, if you're making that effort just to get into a better or a more positive future for yourself, like just taking those little leaps step by step, one by one, take it day by day.
And where do you begin? Like with that being said, where would you begin? How would you start? Like what if there's so much, you know, because I remember being a teenager and, you know, sulking in that situation and thinking, you know, there's so much that I could be doing. Like I could go finish school, I could get a vehicle, I could save some money for a phone, or, you know, like maybe I you know, had to, you know, buy something, or you know, whatever it was. Like where would you start? How did you start? For me it was a list. I listed everything that I wanted in my life to change, right, with just the smallest things, like everything. And then I just picked.
You just picked?
Yeah, I would just pick one thing. There was so many. I'd have like 20 on my list. So I would just say, okay, which one was the easiest? And then I'd start with the easiest one. And then once it was done, I was like, oh, I did it. So, and then it encouraged me to like do it more and more. So every time it got harder and harder, but I did achieve all of it.
Yeah. And I really like that because, see, for me, it was different. Like, you made a list. Like, I was asking the grandfathers, the grandmothers, like, and being Indigenous, that's important. Like, spiritually, I always want to feel connected. And, like, when I was, like, going through a tough time, like, I just realized, like, I've never asked our ancestors, I've never asked, like, the grandfathers, grandmothers for nothing. And I wonder, like, how come they're not helping? How come they're not hearing me? But it's like, Hailey, did you ask? Were you asking for help? Were you asking for support? And I remember I came back from a conference, and that's when kind of I honestly can the track gave me that opportunity. We're back, guys. I'm so sorry. Or can they hear? Somebody. Back, guys.
Please let us know we're back.
Please let us know if we're back because we've been here. We've been here and we were getting good. I apologize, guys.
You know what?
Can somebody comment if we're good now? We turned off the Wi-Fi. Let's just wait for some kind person to answer.
You're glitching, it says.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Can somebody comment if we're good? Because we look good on the screen.
Oh,
okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, anyways.
Good.
Barry.
Okay.
Okay, we're back. I apologize, guys, for that.
Blurry.
Anyways, what were we damn talking about?
What was it? What did you do to get out of it? What did I do?
Oh yeah. So yeah, it would definitely be when I was asking for that help, from the ancestors, when I was asking and telling them what I needed in my life and to guide me, to tell me what my next move was, what I needed to accomplish my goals to get through school. I think that really helps. But I also wanted to answer the questions that people are asking ahead.
What advice?
What advice would you give yourself back in high school?
Okay, I have one advice that I've always given anybody. It's not really on the topic, but I've always wanted to give that advice because, it affected me carrying on to my grade 11, grade 12. So my one advice thing would be pay attention in grade 10.
Yeah.
It would be pay attention in grade 10, especially on your math. And that would be just the biggest thing. Pay attention in grade 10 because a lot of everything that's in grade 11 and 12 is so much based on grade 10. Like if you didn't really understand your grade 10 stuff, like it's hard to
Yeah, no. Yeah, I would have to agree on that because my grade 10, it was, I think I passed math with like a 64, which was like really bad for me. Like that was, and I was going good. Like I thought I was smart and I don't know, like I didn't try. I didn't really care. I wanted to hang out with my friends. And I think that would be my advice is, holy smokes, just getting mad here now.
Oh, no, I just rested.
Okay. It would definitely have to be, if it comes to whether you got to do your homework or you can go hang out with your friends, it would be to do that homework, do that schoolwork, whatever you have to do, because your friends are going to be there, right? Your friends are always going to be there the next day to hang out, or they're going to be free on the weekend or something. And I always wanted to go hang out with my friends, you know, like they were all together, they were all hanging out. And I was like, okay, let's go. And I would come back home and I had like loads of homework. And I realized like I had to stop doing that because I was focusing all my time on my friends when I could have been, you know, studying for an exam, studying for a test. And I was spending all my time with people that, you know, could have waited for me to hang out. So I really like answering questions and stuff. So we're just going to answer a couple more. And then
can we look at it?
Shanna says here, would you say things would have been different if you had better influencing friends? Yeah. Actually, yeah, in a way.
Yeah, in a way. Yep.
But
you know, everyone's kind of doing the same thing. You know, I mean, there's some that don't go to the extent of others, but but you know, like everybody's sort of doing the same.
I think for me personally, because it was like traumatic events, right? It was traumatic to me inside. And, you know, I had some really good friends. Like I had friends that had dreams. I had friends who had goals. And then I had my other friends. But it was what I was feeling inside, whatever I was going through. It was really my decision. It was my decision in the end. And I realized that, like, now that I think about it, having those good friends is positive, but it's what you want. Like, if you're going through something yourself and it's not being influenced by other people, or if it's not being influenced by friends, I don't think that it would have been a little bit more different. Yeah. Unless it's yourself, right? If it's yourself going through it and not your friends putting it on you. Because if you're like, if you're upset, if you're angry about something and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go drink about it, and then maybe, like, you know, but then if you had those good friends, though, they would be like, no. So it's a 50-50, because I be seeing some people out here with some good friends, some well-put friends, and then there's sometimes you're like, I'm not really like this, though.
Yeah, right.
So my sister looks a little tired here. I don't know what's up, but would you listen to your friends or your parents more? Oh. Where's your siblings in this case? Would you listen to your friends?
I would listen to my parents more. I would have listened to my parents more if I would have found out sooner that everything that they laid out right in front of me, everything that they said what was going to happen, right? You know, it happened. One way or another, it happened. Like, even, you know, if it didn't happen in the same scenario, it still happened in another way. I like
that. Yeah. Okay. And when you're a kid, though, like, you don't want to listen to your parents.
You don't.
Like, you're like, Mom, like, I don't care. Like it comes different. Goes in one ear, out the other, you know?
Yeah. Everyone says, you know, I'm different. It's different. Mm-hmm. It is not.
Or you're like, different. Okay, Mom, and then you don't.
No. And then even like now, like, it's not different, and it's not different now. Like, if your parents are telling you the way it is, listen to them, because it actually is. So, well, yeah, it probably would have helped, honestly.
I think if your friends are moving in the right direction, then, you know, take some advice. Like, if they say, like, do some things for yourself, or, you know, if they think that you're in a bad situation, they're trying to help you and they're giving you that advice or that support, take it, man. Take it. Because if your parents aren't offering it to you, if your siblings aren't and your friends are, I think your friends can honestly be there, like, a lot for you. So,
how about, anyways, keep going. Sorry.
Okay.
How about we do a question for our audience? One question.
Yeah.
And see, as long as you guys reply back fast, then we can see what everyone's answer is.
Yeah.
How about we do one question?
One question for who?
For our audience. Or see what they
a question? A question that our audience has? The sun is going down and the teepee is behind us. Okay.
Oh my god.
That
where did
was my
come from?
flute. Oh, and Chris was said too earlier sing, so she probably missed it. But that was my flute.
Well, she's still here.
Yeah, we love Krista.
Still
But these
here.
people taking so long, I don't know.
How about
I
St.
think
John's
I think we're
Community
20
School?
seconds behind, so maybe we can just, talk a little bit, and if somebody has a question, that'd be great. But I just wanted to say, like, I'm so grateful my sister is here with me today. Like, literally, like, me and my
We're
sister
here
have
every day.
we have like each other's backs all
I
the
see you
time,
every day.
and I see you every day. Okay, anyways, but like lately, like, I don't know, she's been my rock, and she's always been so supportive, and I love her. And we just like we could literally fist fight, we could go at her, and we still love each other in the end. And I think sibling love is so important. Having your brother or your sister be there for you, it really is a different type of love.
It is. Compared
And-
to like even a friend.
Yeah.
Like it's like
And trusting one another. Like, my sister knows my deepest, darkest secrets, and I don't feel
Yeah.
comfortable sharing that with anybody. And it's probably
Yeah.
like that for everyone, like your siblings.
definitely.
You tell them everything.
Yeah.
You trust them with your whole heart. You could do the worst thing in the world, and they're still gonna love you at the
Yeah.
end of the day. Like, no matter what, your siblings, your parents, like, they're gonna always love you no matter
Yeah.
what you do. So, I'm just really thankful to have my sister with me. She can be a little hard sometimes to put up with, but she keeps me going. She keeps me happy, and
I'm strict, right?
we somehow have like the same like mentality in a way. Like,
Mhm.
I'll say something and she's thinking it, or like I'm saying something, or wait, you're saying something and I'm thinking it in my head, and I'm like, yeah, like I was just thinking that.
I just did that.
Or I just did that, or we'll see something where like, we both find it funny.
I just did that, man. Like I was thinking what you just said.
But yeah, I definitely would say, like, that thrill that you get from your siblings, the crazy stories that you have with your brothers, your sisters, and
How about how you got your nickname? Or you don't want to share that one with them? Oh, this one's a good one. Come on, bring it in.
Taylor. You guys don't want to hear my nickname.
Just kidding.
Okay, let it go. Let it go.
Yo, if you hear that, then you guys know. But should we say it again, or you want to say it again?
Say it louder.
Okay.
For the ones in the back.
For the ones in back. Chick, chick, chick. 1, 2. Poop. Poop. Poop is her nickname. Her.
And no, not because I pooped my pants.
No, not because she pooped her pants. It's a funny story. So we used to have this dog, hey? Wouldn't get trained. Real hard dog. And, real, didn't know nothing, hey? Didn't know sit.
Oh,
didn't
she's
know
getting res here. Didn't know nothing.
all that damn dog. I don't like that dog. Get out the house.
Get out the house, kicking them.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
so her nickname, it came about this dog would always poop in her area. Hey, like my sister, she has always had her own area that she's just been like that ever since she was young. She had a spot where like, that was her area, and she had a spot in the vehicle, she had a spot in the house, she had a spot outside. She always had a spot for herself. And so that's where her nickname came from. So the dog would not poop or pee on his pad. He would not use the washroom outside, just, by trees and stuff.
Holy
funny
Christ.
story. The dog pooped wherever Hailey hung out.
That sounds so bad.
The dog.
You
would
just really
poop
put me
in
on
her-
like that. But okay, well, her nickname is Bum. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I had to make a comeback, but that's not even true.
Okay.
Anyways,
That's
I hope you just told the whole world that.
poop. Poop. You're my poop. You poop. Not me poop. You poop. Oh my god, I forgot we were on live for a second. Not me poop. Me poop.
Oh, I'm crying.
Oh,
we're getting.
okay.
I think our Wi-Fi is bad. Okay. Wow, man. This was like a great episode. Like, this made me feel good. Like, my heart feels light, kind of heavy. Cause
Show some love.
show some love. Love.
Such a love.
Show some love. Anyways, yeah. So this is my sister Taylor Jade Stone. Hit her up on Facebook. I love her with my whole heart. I love her so much. Yeah, she stopped.
Yeah.
She didn't even get to the whole word. Anyways, so yeah, honestly, thank you so much for being on my show. You know, it is nerve-wracking. It can be scary. Your mouth gets a little dry.
Well, I'm gonna get a little once we get off.
You know, these are memories, and you know, these are everything. And I love my sister with my whole heart. You do too.
What did you say you do too?
I was gonna say
Yeah,
she does.
too. I do.
I was like, and she does too, but I can't speak for her. Anyways, but next time, guys, you're gonna be able to meet my brother, hopefully in the near future. But with that, I got to take the screen. Okay, stop. We're losing people.
No, don't go.
But with that, guys, we'd have to end it now and here.
Don't go.
Don't go. You guys know she lost with her chest, hey, and she's trying to keep it in. But okay, I'm trying to end it here, so let me.
I just got a lot.
I just got a lot.
I just got a lot. Says it again.
Shh. I just got a lot. Okay. Christ. Okay, with that. Yeah, we're gonna end it off here. We got some kids to take care of, so
Okay,
we're gonna so don't say it.
Okay, I won't say it. But
Don't
I'm gonna
say it.
after you.
So guys, thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Be sure to check out my next episode next Thursday at 7 p.m. CST Central Standard Time. Hopefully have a guest then, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope we made you laugh. I hope we gave you some advice. I hope we gave you some support. So thank you guys so much for watching. And with that, we're going to have to say good night to you all. So
see you next time. Peace and love.
Peace and love, guys. See you.